Hello, I'm Jeff Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to give you my top 10 sleepers for the coming season. These are guys that might not be on your radar, can get late in drafts, and I think could help you come fantasy draft day. Before I get to that, though, I did want to mention, don't forget about us here at RealTime Fantasy Sports. Use us for your commissioner product. This year, it's completely free. If you use the promo code RTFS News, you can use our commissioner product. If it's your first year with the site, it's completely free. So please give us a shot if you've never used us for a commissioner product. I think it's the best out there. All sorts of options, especially if you're in these leagues with your friends that you've been in for several years. We have archives. You can trade draft picks. You can do all sorts of different scoring options. So give us a shot. Again, completely free if it's a first year. RTFS News is the promo code to do that. And also our money leagues. We have all sorts of different money leagues, different price points. Our Real-Time Fantasy Sports Championship this year, $500,000. We're doing our Real-Time Fantasy Sports Pro Championship as well. We just opened that up. This is new, a little different. It has 2 flex scoring spots. Our regular RTFFC Championship has just 1 flex spot. So again, give us a shot. It's rtsports.com. Click on the money league link. You can see all the different options we have to offer on there. All right, let's get to my top 10 sleepers now for the coming season. Number 10 for me is Khalil Herbert, the running back with the Chicago Bears. His ADP is 142 right now. You can get him pretty late. He's David Montgomery's top backup. I think he's going to get work in the passing game, even when he's not starting. If Montgomery's healthy and playing, I still think Herbert's going to be an option. And if Montgomery goes down, watch out. I think Herbert could be a big fantasy payday for all you fantasy owners out there. Number 9 for me, Daniel Bellinger, the tight end with the New York Giants. Kind of flying under the radar a little bit. He's a rookie this year. You haven't heard a whole lot about him, but he's getting a lot of hype in camp. He's been starting. He's been a favorite target of Daniel Jones. He's going for next to nothing. He's not even registered in our ADP right now. So I think Bellinger is a good late round pick for fantasy teams, especially if you get somebody like Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews as your number 1 tight end. I think Bellinger is a good late round option for fantasy teams. Number 8 for me, Ameer Abdullah, the running back with the Las Vegas Raiders. His ADP is 210 right now. There's talk about him being used in as a James White type role in this offense. Josh McDaniels is the offensive coordinator right now. Abdullah could be the top pass catching back, meaning he'll be on the field a lot. That gives him great value. His ADP just 210 right now. So for all of you in deeper leagues, I'd give him a shot late in drafts. I think he could end up surprising if he gets that James White role, which they're talking about. Number 7 for me on the list is Devontae Parker, receiver with the New England Patriots. His ADP is 171 right now. Again, going very late in drafts. Parker's super talented. The issue for him has been staying on the field. Moves to a new team now, maybe the new scenery, a chance to be the number 1 receiver is going to be a plus for Parker. I think he's worth a shot for fantasy teams. We've seen what he's done before when he's been on his game. He's a super talented player. I think he's worth a shot late in drafts. Another receiver for you is number 6 for me, Parris Campbell, receiver with the Indianapolis Colts. Just like Parker, his issue's been staying healthy. His ADP is 186 right now. We've seen all the video of him in camp. He's been doing great, making all sorts of plays, been a favorite target of Matt Ryan. I still love Michael Pittman the most out of that offense, but Campbell could end up being a surprise out of the slot. Number 5 for me is Isaiah Pacheco, the running back with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's flying up draft boards right now. He's gone up 29 spots in the ADP in the last week. His ADP is now 156. He's running as the number 2 back behind Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's getting a lot of work as a pass catcher out of the backfield. They're lining him up out of the slot. I know he wasn't super productive in college, but you can't deny that he's making plays in camp and preseason action, and the Chiefs seem to like him a lot. So he's moving up draft boards, and I think for good reason. He could end up being a really good player for fantasy teams. Number 4 for me is Josh Palmer, the receiver with the Los Angeles Chargers. His ADP is 195. He's going to be the number 3 in this offense. I know they have 2 great options ahead of him in Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, but still, Palmer is a super talented player. He's a great red zone target. He made a lot of big plays last year. I think he's going to get a lot more consistent work and a great offense. So he's another player I'm looking at late in drafts. Number 3 for me on the sleeper list is Jameis Winston, the quarterback with the New Orleans Saints. 168 ADP. Again, a guy you can get really late. If you're going to wait on a quarterback, I would consider, taking him and another option, platooning them. Winston has a track record of big-time success. Michael Thomas is healthy. And I think they're going to be a good offense once again. So I think it's a big plus for Winston taking up for Drew Brees. Got to learn from him last year. I think that's good positive things for Winston. He can learn and learn from his mistakes from the past. He's been turnover prone. That's always been an issue with him. But man, he's thrown for the yards, produced some big games. I like Winston a lot as a low end number one or number two fantasy quarterback. Number two on my sleeper list, we're moving up the list. We're up to Cole Kmet, tight end with the Chicago Bears, my second Bear to make the list. His ADP is 124, one of the highest on this entire list. But man, I really like Kmet as a low end number one tight end. Super talented. They don't have many great options in the passing game in Chicago outside of Darnell Mooney. I think Kmet's going to get the most targets, just rack them up on a weekly basis. And that's another reason I like Herbert as well as a fantasy sleeper too, because they don't have many options in this passing game. He could be used as a receiver more so than you would think. But again, Cole Kmet, love him. Been a big time target of mine. He's my number two sleeper. All right, my number one sleeper. It is Tyler Allgeier, the running back with the Atlanta Falcons, 121 ADP, the highest ADP that is on this entire list. But again, still not very high. This is a mid-round pick. You know, you're talking 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th round for Allgeier. This is the guy I think could be the bell cow back before the season's over with. Cordell Patterson really struggled down the stretch last year. Didn't do much the second half of the season. Allgeier's built to be a bell cow back. He carried the load in college. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. I think he's going to be the starter before long. And he's been a target of mine in the mid-round of fantasy drafts. All right, those are my top 10 sleepers for the coming season. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to do these top 10 lists. And again, check us out, rtsports.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video as well. Really appreciate you subscribing to the RealTime Fantasy Sports YouTube page. And I appreciate you watching. This has been Jeff Paur for RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day.